This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the newspaper, and notice of the meeting has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the council will be held on Monday, December 11th, 2017, at 7:30 p.m. Mrs. Dungy?
Present.
Dr. Greenberg?
Present.
Mr. Green?
Here.
Mr. Mollis? Mrs. Panos?
Here.
Rosencrantz?
Here.
Mrs. Sohar? Here. Mrs. Walker?
Here.
President Cahill?
Here.
8 present.
8 present, we have a quorum. I just want to mention that Mr. Mollis is having a pretty serious procedure done today. Hopefully he's okay, and we wish him the very best. He won't be at the meeting tonight. Okay, diving right into the body of the meeting. We're going to go into a proclamation certificate proclaiming Saturday, November 25th, 2017 as Small Business Saturday. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I'm going to read a proclamation, as Council President said, about Small Business Saturday. Old Bridge Township celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. According to the United States Small Business Administration, there are currently 28.8 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of all businesses with employees in the United States and are responsible for 63% of the net new jobs created over the past 20 years. Small businesses employ over 49% of all businesses with employees in the United States. 89% of consumers in the United States agree that small businesses contribute positively to the local community by supplying jobs and generating tax revenue. 87% of consumers in the United States agree that small businesses are critical to the overall economic health of the United States. 93% of consumers in the United States agree that it is important for people to support small businesses and that they value in their community. Old Bridge Township supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our neighborhoods. Advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Owen Henry, Mayor of Old Bridge, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 25th, 2017, as Small Business Saturday, and urge our residents of our community and communities across the country to support the small businesses and merchants of Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. I thank you, everyone. It's so important. Every mayor is going to tell you that the backbone of his community, their community, are their small businesses. And no place is it more evident here in Old Bridge. We have so many small businesses, so many. I've cut so many ribbons. We're up into the 60s, I believe, just new over the last couple of years. And they depend on you, the residents of Old Bridge, going to their stores and buying their goods and supporting them so that they can be they can give back to the community. And I think everyone who owns a small business here in Old Bridge, that's their primary goal, to give back to the community. They came to this community, they want to be supported by the people who live here, and they want to give back. So I would ask everyone, not only on the day after Saturday after Thanksgiving, but every day, instead of driving to another town, stay here in Old Bridge and shop Old Bridge, use your Shop Old Bridge card, and support your small businesses. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, moving on to the approval of minutes of previous meetings. Combined meeting, July 10th, 2017, and executive session, July 10th, 2017. Does anybody need to separate the executive session minutes out, or can we do them as a package? Anybody have any comments about these minutes?
I'd like to
Dr.
hold.
Greenberg?
Yes, I'd like to hold off because there are a few changes things that I mentioned that I wanted in the minutes that I didn't read.
Are you looking to make a motion to table
Yes, I am. I'd like to make a motion to table.
on both the executive and the regular?
No, not the executive.
So you want to separate it out then?
Yes.
Okay. So there's a motion to table the combined meeting.
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. Sohar. Can I get a roll call on the table for the combined meeting?
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
No.
Mrs. Panos?
No.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
No.
Mrs. Sohar? Yes. Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Gale.
Yes.
5 yes, 3 no.
Executive session minutes. Any comments, questions on executive session? Can I get a motion, please, to move the executive session for July 10th, 2017?
I'll move it.
Moved by Mr. Rosencrantz. Can I get a second? Second by Ms. Dungy. Roll call, please, on executive session minutes.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green? Abstain. Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Gale.
Yes.
7 yes, 1 abstention.
Okay, moving on to the bill list. Mr. Rosencrantz?
Okay, bill list tonight, November 13th, 2017, accounts payable, November 13th, 2017, $11,678,343.99.
Any questions? Can I get a motion, please?
I'll move it.
Moved by Mr. Rosencrantz. Can I get a second? I'll second it. Roll call, please, on accounts payable.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Cahill.
Yes.
8 yes.
Payroll, October 27th, 2017, $964,561.98.
Can I get a motion, please?
Move it.
Moved by Mrs. Sohar. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Panos. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos? Yes. Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Cahill.
Yes.
8 yes.
Payroll overtime, October 27th, 2017, $32,733.09.
Can I get a motion, please?
Move it.
Moved by Mrs. Panos. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rosencrantz. Mr. Shaw, can you do the breakout, please?
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, as Mr. Rosenkranz indicated, the total overtime was $32,733.09. There was a uptick in buildings and grounds related to capital project that they're working on. Some of the work being done in-house. For the sworn officer, the total overtime for that period was $18,234.32. When you deduct for the ETO of $3,093.87, the net overtime is $15,140.45. It represents 323 man and women hours. There were 2 patrolmen on IOD, and so is 1 sergeant is injured on duty. So that's the report.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Shaw on the overtime? I have a motion. Second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Cahill.
Yes.
8 yes.
Payroll, November 9th, 2017, $920,114.15.
Can I get a motion, please?
Move it.
By Mrs. Walker? Sohar. Thank you. Second? I'll
Second.
second it. Any questions on the payroll? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos? Yes. Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Cahill.
Yes.
8 yes.
Payroll overtime, November 9th, 2017, $41,807.07.
Can I get a motion, please?
I'll move it.
Move Mr. Rosencrantz, second by Mrs. Panos. Mr. Shaw, breakout, please.
Yes, Mr. President, the total overtime as indicated was $41,807.07. This period, there is no real uptick in other department. For the sworn officers, total overtime was $32,138.07. When you deduct for grants of $336.02 and a deduct for ETO of $13,732.43, the net overtime for the period was $18,069.62, representing 568 man and women hours. Again, we still have this pay period, we still have 2 patrolmen injured on duty and 1 sergeant injured on duty.
Any questions, Mr. Shaw, on the overtime? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green? Yes. Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrans?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Kale?
Yes.
8
And that concludes the bill list for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Rosencrantz. Moving on to public hearings and ordinances for second reading. We have H1, Release Reduction Performance Guarantee, Winding Brook Estates LLC, bond numbers 0387238 and 0396799, application number 121-01P. This was tabled on the 10/9/2017 meeting without renotice or re-advertisement. Want to just, you guys want to sit or you want to stand? It's up to you.
Fine, I can
Okay.
stand. Victoria Britton from the law firm of Eckerd Siemens here on behalf of Winding Brook Estates.
Great.
Trevor Taylor, CME Associates on behalf of the Township.
Okay, excellent. Do you want to start? Sure.
Thank you, Council President. We issued a report dated October 26, 2017. Since the last meeting, the developer was out on site to address the remaining punch list that we had. They completed all the landscaping work. They addressed the resident complaint at 52 Palomino Drive that we spoke about at the last meeting, and they completed the remaining punch list items. So we are recommending the release of the performance guarantee as per our October 26th letter, and we are conditioning the release of the performance guarantee on the posting of a 2-year maintenance guarantee in the amount of $364,754.75, as well as a payment of outstanding inspection fees or any additional escrow. And another item in our letter is that upon release of the performance bond, the township shall be responsible for the maintenance of the project roadways, stormwater management facilities, and open space areas dedicated to the township. That's our report dated October 26, 2017.
Okay. Is this agreeable to the applicant?
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay, great. Before I go to council, anybody from the public want to be heard on H1? I'll close the public portion. Anybody from council? Oh. CME. Yeah.
okay.
Anybody from council want to comment on this? Do you want to say anything? Oh, yeah. Yeah, CME's representing the council. Yeah. Anybody from council? No? Okay.
I'll move to approve.
Moved by Mr. Green. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Panos. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrans?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Kale?
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Moving on to preliminary public comments to council, subject to the following conditions and restrictions. 1, during the preliminary public portion of the meeting, any person may address the township council on one subject for a maximum period of 5 minutes. Any such person desiring to speak during the preliminary public portion shall first sign a list maintained by the township clerk for such purpose. Comments during the preliminary public comment portion of the meeting shall not encompass second reading ordinances or any other matter for which comment or public hearing is to occur at this meeting. Anybody signed up?
Charles Brentweiser?
Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make you aware of something that's going on in Berkeley, California. Just recently, Charlottesville, Virginia. Antifa, they go by many different names like BAM, which stands for By Any Means Necessary, Resist. These are very organized groups of militants. And the police are being told to stand aside and let them go through whatever banter they're going to do. And it becomes personal criminal destruction and behavior from these people. And I want you to assure me and everyone else here that we have emergency steps in place should anything like that happen here. The police are not going to be told to stand aside. They're going to be told, get them by any means necessary. Prosecute them. Punish these people. Can you make that promise to us?
I'm not going to speak for the chief of police, he's not here, but the chief, I'm sure the police would follow the law.
Counsel, as Public
Go ahead.
Safety Director, absolutely, Charlie. We are prepared for anything that might occur here in Old Bridge. We have contingency plans, OEM, the state police are very involved with monitoring these groups, and we will not tell our police to stand aside and let people break the law here in Old Bridge.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because they can pull that crap in California and Virginia, but if they try it in Jersey, we're gonna Jersey up on them, right?
Sounds
Thank you.
good. Sounds good.
Roseanne Andrews?
My name is Roseanne Andrews, and I'm going to speak to Mr. Cahill. You have the right to support, endorse, and campaign for any candidate that you want. What you don't have the right, and I come to council meetings, I watch them on TV when I'm not here, but you have no right to malign someone who sits on this council, someone who is trustworthy, honest. What you mean by underlying, does that mean that you can't ask questions? You're not allowed to disagree? You're not allowed to vote differently than what you believe everybody should vote for? And as far as disparaging employees in the town, where are they? I don't see anyone here complaining about Mary Sohar. I watch the council meetings and I stay home many times because very honestly, sir, you are a bully, you're a misogynist, you're crude, and you're rude. And if anybody should be underlining the town, it's you. You give Republicans a bad name because it's men like you that make women think that all Republicans hate women. And if you had an ounce of decency, you would resign.
Okay.
And here I have a party affiliation change, just in case you want to.
You could give it to other council people, I'm not taking it, so, thank you. Appreciate your comments. Anybody else on the dais?
That's it.
Okay. Moving on to council member comments. Anybody want to be heard in the council? Mr. Green?
Unless it's changed, I think the Reggie Butler dedication is Friday. We're going to dedicate the Public Works Building to Councilman Reggie Butler. What time is it on a Friday? I know I got a notice, but I don't recall a time assigned to it.
4 o'clock, I'm being told, Mr. Green. I'll look on my schedule.
4 o'clock in the afternoon? Okay,
We want to accommodate as many people as we could, including the family.
yeah, that's good. The other thing is, I'd like to know what the status is of the Pleasant Valley development. I missed the meeting that they had several weeks ago. It's in, there was a meeting in the zoning board several weeks ago.
I can't exactly recall, either they withdrew their application or they postponed it, but I want to say that they withdraw it. They've never been heard in front of the board. And they were in front of the zoning board.
I
They were
know at
never
one
heard.
time that they did postpone it or ask for a postponement.
They postponed it many times. But they were never heard in front of the zoning board, and I can't remember if they had withdrawn their application or,
I can't hear you with the chatter that's going on over here. So I'm
Councilman
sorry.
Green, no problem. I don't recall if they had withdrawn their application or if they just postponed it. I know that in the past, they've postponed it numerous times. They were in front of the zoning board. They have never gone till this day, at least for their first hearing. I know that they did notice to be heard, and then they postponed it. And now if they were to go back on, they would have to re-advertise, or I'm sorry, renotice again. But for some reason, I think that they had withdrawn their application. I would have to check, though, with our zoning board secretary.
All right, I'll call you during the week to find out if they did withdraw it, because that's a development. They want to build, I think, 112 units. This goes through the redevelopment agency.
Hey, Mike.
The property is located close to the intersection of 527 and...
Englishtown Road and Pleasant Valley.
Right, exactly. I don't remember the details of it. I know that there was a residential component as well as a commercial component.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Anybody else want to be heard from the council? Mrs. Dungy?
I have a question for Mr. Mayor. The time you say for Mr. Butler's dedication is 4 o'clock?
That's what's on my schedule, yes.
You were in touch with the family,
Yes,
so they are okay with that?
yes.
Okay.
I believe it was originally for 12 in the afternoon, and then talking to the family, they moved it to 4. My secretary, Poole, put it together. I was not involved in the, I just told them to accommodate as many people as we could. I know later in the afternoon, I think some council people were able to make it as opposed to having it at 12 in the afternoon.
And it's going to be at the Public Works
At the
Building.
Public
That's
Works, yes.
where
We're
the
all prepared,
clock-
right at the front entrance.
plaque is going to be.
Yeah, you
placed.
see there's a large stone there already, and the wording is already up on the building.
Well, the only reason I brought it up is because there were a lot of people who, in my district area there, that was very, love Reggie, and some of them do work. So 4 o'clock is kind of early, but if that's the time the family agreed to, then okay.
I know you were in touch with Reggie's sister, Beverly.
Correct.
Okay.
You can call my office and get the details. You can speak to my secretary and find out exactly, who was coming. I know the emails went out, and I accepted the invitation. So,
Yeah, I know because I had spoken to Beverly, his sister, and, okay, well, if she's fine with that, then, I'm just,
yeah, anytime you put something like this together, it's very difficult to get everybody. It's way overdue. We planned on doing something in June, and then the summer came, and now, and I said, we have to do something now. We have to move on this to get that building dedicated to Mr. Butler. And if anyone noticed, we have a plaque for Reggie just outside this door on that just a little wall with a plaque for Mr. Butler also.
Anybody else want to be heard, council? Mrs. Walker?
Yes, was there an announcement of some kind for this? I mean, I don't recall getting an email.
Yeah, we all got
Yeah.
emails.
No, I don't recall. So was there an announcement so the public knows about it?
I'll find out.
We'll find out how to
We'll alert you
Because it's
tomorrow.
kind of short notice for the public.
Well, that's why
Yeah, Chamber of Commerce is coming, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
We had to
That's why I
coordinate
brought
with
it
them
up
also.
today.
I didn't get an email either. You got an email?
This goes back a number of weeks.
Oh, really? Okay.
I really don't recall getting an email. And we had brought it up to have the ceremonies.
We'll get the email out tomorrow, first thing tomorrow morning.
can I just say one more thing?
Well, Mrs. Walker has the floor if she
I'm
wants to
sorry.
yield.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm just a little upset because we had asked for it and it's a little short notice.
Mrs. Dungy?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just concerned because I know there were other people in the organization that held Reggie in high esteem, so, I'm sure that they would like to have been here to participate, so that's what I'm just concerned about. If people know that knew Reggie and would like to be a part of this ceremony.
Any other council comments? Okay. I'll close the council comments. So we have a report of the township clerk.
Okay, just a short report. I just want to thank everyone for all their extra help that they gave us for the elections. My staff members, Vivian, Sue, and Nicole, people from finance, Beth, Vicky, and John, the recreation department, Carol and Pat, who arranged getting everything we need to certain polling places, each election, and the guys who make the extra deliveries for us, Kyle and the public works guys who are constantly there when I need assistance, the extra people we bring in at night, they really work really hard. And last but not least, the police department, who were just great. They helped all day and are there at the end of the night to deliver to the county for me no matter what time. Thank you all. Couldn't have done it without you. I appreciate everything you did.
Very nice, Phil.
And also, on another note, I'm sorry, congratulations to all the winners, all the council members. And on another note, citizen leadership forms, resumes are due in by December 6th, so anyone that's interested in serving on any of the boards that are open, please get your resumes in so the council can look them over before the first of the year. So I'd like them in by December 6th if possible. Thank you.
Thank you. That's not really a report, it's more of a thank you, but so we don't have to make a motion, I think. That was very nice, so, yep, great. Any report of the Township Clerk? Attorney, excuse me? Okay. Go to the administrative report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Council. Item number 1, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, NJDEP Blue Acres Program. The NJDEP Superstorm Sandy Blue Acres team began extending buyout offers to homeowners here in Old Bridge on Township on April 2015. A total of 29 buyout offers have been extended to date. 26 of the 29 offers have been accepted. 3 offers have been rejected. Demolition of the 12 out of 29 properties have been completed. Hard copies of the November 6, 2017 NJDEP Old Bridge Buyout Status Summary Report has been forwarded to the Township Clerk's office for distribution to Council. The Old Bridge Food Bank Holiday Collections. Anyone wishing to contribute to the food bank this holiday season can drop off donations at the Old Bridge Food Bank or the Senior Center. For additional information and or a list of needed items, residents should contact the Senior Center at 732-721-5600, extension 6625, or you can visit the Township website. Item number 3, bond anticipation note sale on October 31st, 2017. The Department of Finance received 5 bids for the sale of $3.5 million of bond anticipation notes scheduled to mature on April 11, 2018. The winning bid from Jeffries LLC, and pay attention to this, Council, has a net interest cost of 1.2346%, or a total of $18,244.67. Item number 4, Thanksgiving Day holiday on November 23rd and November 24th. All municipal offices will be closed in observance of Thanksgiving Day holiday. As I read in the beginning of the council meeting, shop small on Small Business Saturday. On November 25th, the township will be participating in Small Business Saturday. American Express founded this special event in 2010 to help local businesses with their most pressing needs, getting more customers. For additional information on Small Business Saturday, residents and local business owners should contact the Mayor's Office of Economic Development at 732-721-5600, extension 7920, or you can email obedo@oldbridge.com, or you can also visit americanexpress.com. Item number 6, fall curbside leaf collection. The Department of Public Works is scheduled to complete the first round of leaf collection during the week of November 13th. The second round of leaf collection is scheduled to begin during the week of November 27th in Wards 1 and 2. For additional information, residents should contact the Department of Public Works, 732-721-5600, extension 6140, or again, you can visit the Township website. Annual Drainage Improvement Program. The bid opening for the 2017 Annual Drainage Improvement Program is scheduled for November 29th at 1 p.m. in the Municipal Administration Building. Item number 8, the annual Pearl Harbor Remembrance Ceremony. On December 7th, the Township will be remembering Pearl Harbor with a wreath-laying ceremony at the Veterans Memorial located next to the Old Bridge Civic Center. The event will start at 10:30 a.m. For additional information, residents should contact the Mayor's Office at 732-721-5600, extension 2040. Item number 9, the annual Christmas tree and menorah lighting event. The Township will hold its annual Christmas tree and menorah lighting event on December 11th at 6:30 p.m. in the Old Bridge Civic Center courtyard. For additional information about the annual Christmas tree and menorah lighting event or other upcoming activities and programs, residents should contact the Department of Parks and Recreation, 732-721-5600, 4999, or again, visit the Township website. The Old Bridge Business Alliance is a dynamic business networking group which has received statewide recognition and is free for any business to join. The next Business Alliance meeting and annual Toys for Tots Drive is scheduled for December 12th at 6 p.m. at Cafe Luna. Please bring a new unwrapped toy for a child. For additional information on the local businesses and related opportunities, residents should contact the Mayor's Office of Economic Development, 732-721-5600, extension 7920, or email again the obedo@oldbridge.com. Item number 11, the 2017 tax sale. The annual tax sale is scheduled for December 20th, 2017. For additional information, residents should contact the Office of the Tax Collector, 732-721-5600, at extension 2999. Council, that concludes my report. If anyone has any other questions, we will try to answer them. If not, we will get you the answers.
Questions for the mayor on the administrative report? Mrs. Panos, and then we'll go to Mr. Green.
I just want, because this is a very important thing, could you please explain item number 3 and what that means to the residents of this town? Or what the
Well,
impact?
it directly relates to the township's bond rating. Anyone who's in the financial institutions or financial markets know that an interest rate of 1.2346 is a pretty good interest rate. That is interest rates that towns that have a AAA rating get. We are not a AAA rating, but I think it's more important that we are getting the interest rate that are associated with the AAA bond rating. It says the financial institutions look at Old Bridge and say they're in pretty good shape financially. They're doing the right things financially and managing the departments and the money just as well. So,
We attract a lot of.
go ahead, Hamachi, you're responsible.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to add to what Mayor said, is that, there's a lot of interest in financial community when Old Bridge puts out debt for, borrowing, and as a result, we get 4 or 5 bids, and we get a very good rate. And it's attributable to our financial position and our bond rating.
I think that deserves a lot. That was a lot of hard work. I know what this administration went through to get us that kind of rating and interest.
Long story short, it saves the residents of Old Bridge, the taxpayers, thousands and thousands of dollars in interest payments.
Thousands.
Mrs. Panos?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys.
About how many homeowners are involved in the tax sale as a result of paying their taxes late or haven't paid their real estate taxes?
As of right now, I'm not sure because we literally just closed the tax window at 7 p.m. today, so I haven't had a chance to look as far as what the list will be.
Okay, maybe next meeting, right? Thank you.
Other questions about the administrative report from council? I have a motion to accept the administrative report, please.
Move it.
Moved by Mrs. Panos. Can I have a second? I'll second it. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Cahill?
Yes.
8 yes.
Moving on to the consent agenda. Tonight we have items C1 through C7. Can I have a motion to introduce, please, before we do separations in public?
Move it.
Moved by Mrs. Panos. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Rosencrantz. Anybody from the public want to be heard on items C1 through C7? Please? And then I'll go to you after that. C1 through C7, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Mary Ann Sweet, Gee's Quake Village. I just want clarification of C7. Could you let us know what that means?
Sure.
Some-
Yeah, so that's probably going to be separated, or Dr. Greenberg, would you like, this is yours, would you like to respond to that?
Sure. At the last meeting, they talked about increasing the amount when a senior qualifies for a discount with the tax. And I noticed on our township website that it says, what it says about senior citizens' annual property tax deduction. The annual deduction of up to $250 from property taxes for homeowners age 65 or older or disabled who meet a requirement of less than $10,000 income, excluding Social Security benefits and residency requirements. I felt the $10,000 is too low. That, I don't know how many years ago we've been, that the state set this level at 10,000, but is it more than 10,
I think it's
20?
forever, as far as I know.
Yeah. And it's too low, and I think it's unfair to ask other entities to do it if we don't do it, and I want to help the seniors out. And so the way to do it is because it's tied in with a state statute, that we have to request from our state legislator, our Senate, and our Assembly to change it. So I'm hoping we can get it changed.
Okay. Did you want to be heard?
How are you? I'm George Millett from 258 Shoreland Circle, Lawrence Harbor. The item I wanted to comment on is C2, which is the amendment authorizing that the DeFranco Bateman Law Firm gets an additional $75,000 on their contract, which I assume is a retainer. Now, if we assume their hourly rate is $350, that's over almost $360, the 360 hours. Okay, good. Because my concern is, and my experience is, that I've done work for Mobil Oil Corporation for a law firm that was once the largest law firm in New Jersey, McCarter and English, and for the company I worked for the past 24 years on the defense of matters in hazardous waste. And it's important, my main concern, and you've helped out a lot on this, is that I don't think I ever paid in all those years a bill that was $300, more than about $195 an hour, I think is the largest. So this is something that's going to have to be watched, especially now that at $195 an hour, the amount of hours that they can bill to run this up starts to become much, much larger than 360. I estimated at $350 an hour. And that sort of suggests, from my experience with 8 different hazardous sites in New Jersey and 4 in Pennsylvania, that it's an excessive amount of time for Old Bridge to spend on this matter concerning the dumping in Lawrence Harbor from National Lead. An administrative order is signed. They've got a remedial design plan in place to clean up the Margaret's Creek area. And they're now preparing a remedial design to clean up the whole seawall area. And we're hoping that gets done by the end of next summer.
Are we on C2 still?
Yes. Yep, Mrs. Panos, he's got the floor. Public comments. Go ahead, Mr. Millett.
So basically, I'm saying that right now, even that Old Bridge has been named as a potentially responsible party, there isn't a lot of work that has to be done on this.
Want me to respond? Would you like me to respond?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, you're wrong. Just so you know, there's a litigation that was instituted by National Lead, so which National Lead has joined a significant number of parties, of PRPs, because of the administrative consent order issued by the EPA. So consequently, in any basically Superfund site litigation, they conduct a fishing expedition. And being that we are the primary defendant, we have to defend this. As I said, DeFrancisco's hourly rate for partners $150 an hour and $125 for associate, which I negotiated with them. I can assure you that I review every bill that comes through. I make deductions when required. This type of litigation has, unfortunately, a significant amount of discovery, because it also includes the state of New Jersey. And to further compound it, the EPA is now getting involved as well, because of the fact that they may institute their own litigation to collect funds from potential responsibility parties, including Old Bridge Township. So as a matter of fact, there's 2 layers of litigation that's going on. There's the underlying litigation with National Lead, which has been proceeding in court, and then there's the potential action by the EPA that we're we're addressing on a separate vein. So the fact that they issued the ACO is just the first step. My sense is that probably no work will be done within the year by
There's
next
work
year.
that's going on right
Oh, I
now.
know, that has to do with Marguerite's Creek, but as far as what's going on there, my sense is that that's probably not going to happen because of the fact that National Lead hasn't provided any funds to do the work and has not agreed to do the work. So the next step for the EPA in that instance is for them to commence their own action and to try to get potential responsible parties to contribute for that work, which they're proceeding on. So you know, there's a lot of litigation that's going on involving, you know, different levels, plus there's a separate state court action which we're involved with, and I can assure you that these funds actually are not being paid from the township. Those monies we received from our environmental JIF. So the funds that are being paid out currently are from our JIF funds that I negotiated with we had an environmental fund where those funds were contributed to us. And now what we're also trying to do as part of litigation is to secure other insurance companies that we've been able to locate for them to tender the defense on behalf of the township.
Well, concerning your correction, and I appreciate it.
We have to hurry up, Mr. Miller, because we're over our 5 minutes, but make your last point, okay?
Get at least as much time as he did.
But you made your points. Let's finish up, okay?
Concerning.
He was trying to answer your question, so
Okay, can I get as much time as he and you did?
just please, let's finish up, please. Thank you.
Now, concerning one point you made, the only count left in the lawsuit National Lead filed against Middlesex County, Old Bridge, and a few other people, is one for contribution. And what liability do you expect for contribution when they have not been paid, when you know?
Not going to discuss litigation.
Right.
Right.
Right,
strategies.
right. I'm just, you brought that up as a
That's what's-
rebuttal, but
No,
that's
not
my
as a rebuttal.
rebuttal
I'm
to
trying to
that.
explain the reason.
Secondly, the work that needs to be done is going forward, and we just don't need to have any kind of interference with it. So I'd like to,
Actually, that work is different work.
excuse me?
That's different work. The work-
Right. Mhm. All right.
That's not with respect to the seawall.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public want to be heard on C1 through C7? I'll close the public portion on C1 through C7. We have council separations on C1 through C7. Any separations from council? None? No. Dr. Greenberg? C7? Any other separations from council? Can I get a motion on the balance C1 through 6? Moved by Mr. Green. Can I have a second? I'll second it. Roll call on the balance.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green? Yes. Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker? Yes. President Cahill?
Yes.
8 yes on the balance.
Dr. Greenberg, C7?
So I appreciate the fact that a copy of this resolution will be sent to the Senator Thompson and Clifton and Dancer and Sweeney, and hopefully that they will move on this and try to get this done, so it does help seniors across the board. And hopefully we'll see an improvement. Thank you.
Any other comments on C7?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos?
I understand this is a resolution to the Senate and the Assembly. However, that has to go through a committee, so I suggest that you also find out who's head of that committee, and they have to actually put that up so the chair of the committee, for whatever resolution or whatever you're requesting, has to put it up before the Senate or before the Assembly. So I suggest, you could send it to Senator Thompson and Assemblyman Dancer and Clifton and Sweeney. However, the state law is it has to go through committee. It has to pass the Assembly and pass the Senate committee and then gets moved up. So it's a process, and it's just not laying in the hands of 3 people.
Does that have to be written into the resolution, or?
Well, I think we'll do, I don't know what committee, there may be multiple committees that look at something like that. So I'll try to find out when they did the last amendment by state statute to see what the corresponding subcommittee would be, and then we can forward it. Maybe I'll just, if you want to, Dr. Greenberg, include a provision to include to send it to the appropriate subcommittee. Yeah, okay.
Certainly, I want to get it to the right people so it's done, for sure. I mean, at 10,000 is not, is 10,000, it should be raised to the minimum of the 32,628. I think it will help a lot more people.
Any other comments on C7, Mrs. Walker?
Yes, I want to thank Dr. Greenberg for bringing this forward, because we want to help the seniors on the township level as well. And moving forward, maybe we could also see what we talked about last meeting about helping them get no permit fees also.
Any other comments on C7? I got a motion on C7, please?
I'll move it.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Soha. Thank you. Roll call, please, on C7.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mrs. Panos?
Yes.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Gale?
Yes.
8 yes.
Ordinance for first reading, FR1, an ordinance of the Township of Old Bridge amending Chapter 457 of the Code of the Township of Old Bridge entitled Trees. This is for introduction. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll move it.
Moved by Dr. Greenberg. Can I have a second?
Second?
Second, Mrs. Walker. Roll call on introduction.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes.
Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Abstain.
Mrs. Panos?
Abstain.
Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yes.
Sohar?
Yes.
Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Gale?
Yes for first reading.
6 yes, 2 abstention.
Public comments on any subject matter? Sir?
John Murphy, Claridge Court, Old Bridge. I listened to Ms. Dungy, and I totally agree with you. First of all, I feel it's a disservice for a man who sat in this room for 20 years. He doesn't have, this should have been dedicated to him. This is the room where he made great major decisions for Old Bridge. This is where it should be. But to have the meeting, at 4 o'clock to have the dedication, that's absurd. We do everything 7, 8 o'clock in this town. I feel it's political. It's so the mayor can get out and say what he has to say at 4 o'clock. The council should somehow be able to stand up there. Most of the people, it's a disgrace to Ward 3. He served that for 20 years, and they're not even going to come and see it. I think the time should be changed, if it's possible, the date. And now I'm hearing 2 council people didn't even get it. And that's all I have to say. It's all political. This whole thing is political, what they're doing. It's about the mayor. It's not about anybody else. And from now on, starting January 1st, the political stuff is gone. It's going to be everybody working together for the public. Thank you.
Anybody else want to be heard from the public? Good
In
evening.
reference to over 55 housing, someone brought it to my attention that,
Just the name again, I'm sorry.
Roseanne Andrews, I'm sorry. Someone brought to my attention that even in an over 55 complex, that by federal law, 15% can be sold or rented to those under 55. Is there any way you can find out if that's the case?
Mr. Shaw? Yeah, we have to check.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else from the public want to be heard? Okay. Councilmember comments before we close?
Yeah.
Mr. Green?
Reggie served, I think, close to 25 years. Reggie serves for close, if not 25, but close to 25 years. And, I mean, I really had nothing to do with setting up the date and time, but the email that I got several weeks ago definitely indicated that there was communication with relatives, in particular Reggie's sister, Beverly. So that may have been the reason why it's at 4 o'clock. I don't know. But it is odd. I agree. But it is 4 o'clock, I think, for a certain reason, and I don't know what it is.
Mr. President, I can just add to that. Yeah, we've been trying, the dates and the timing is being set at the request of the family members so that they can attend. We found, I guess, so we went through multiple people to get the phone numbers of family members, and mayor secretaries in communication with the family members. And the reason everybody didn't, there was an indication, but not confirmed, is that they have not been able to get the final confirmation. So, but we'll get that out tomorrow, one way or another. It's not that there was no other reasons, but just to make sure that the family is confirmed, and families are being able to attend.
Green, you finished?
I'm finished, yeah.
Mrs. Dungy?
Yes, I am kind of upset about this because there were a lot of people in the third ward who really close to Reggie. And, I'm sorry, I didn't have her number. And I know they're working, and they're not gonna be able to get here at 4 o'clock. On Friday afternoon, too. I mean, Reggie was here like 28 years. We couldn't have done this on a different day?
If the council wishes, this was, to say here political is just insulting. I
didn't say anything
The council
being
could say, I'll make a suggestion. We'll cancel it. I'll cancel it for Friday. We'll call the family and say the council's objecting to the time, and let's have a committee on the council, put it together. No matter where it is, when it is, I will be there. You put it together, you schedule it, I'll be there.
Well, my concern is that...
That's our concern too. Don't say
people-
your concern isn't our concerns.
Excuse me?
Our concern is your concern. We went about this, in an intelligent manner, contacting the family, asking them when they would like to have it. We gave them a number of dates.
Well, I'm
This is the
concerned
date
because
they picked.
I know they work too. They work too. And I was actually the one who started the contact with his sister Beverly through your office. And,
Right, we asked for help.
I did not get back any information as to what had happened. And I think that I should have been contacted, not that I have to have the last
Council,
word.
this is your council meeting.
Yeah.
You tell me what to do in reference to this.
Well, I think that we should change the date and time.
Okay, well, it'll
so
be
that we
canceled
can
for Friday and
come.
put together, you talk amongst yourselves when you want it, and you
I would
schedule
like
it.
to talk with Beverly. I would like to
Okay.
talk to his sister.
Keep us in the loop.
And find out what went down, because that was not the impression, because I know she does work, so I just find 4 o'clock is, kind of unusual.
Date was requested by
I don't know what else to say.
Beverly.
She lives in New York, so I just don't understand, Not only her, but I'm talking about there are people, constituents that would probably like
I
to
believe
come.
there were people were traveling this Friday, so we'll tell them not to come.
I don't know about that.
I think before anything says, if Beverly, I don't know all
I don't know how many
particulars,
times we
Mayor,
can
but-
say that.
But I think if Beverly made the arrangements, I wouldn't change anything until you talk to Beverly. I think
I'll
that's
let her
wrong
talk.
on our part. It's for
travel
Reggie Butler
arrangements, right.
and their family.
Yeah.
And I think
It's
if
almost
Beverly
true now.
stated that, and the family, and you reached out to the family, and that's what they came up with, they're not involved with the council, they're not involved with, sadly, town. Everyone loved Reggie, hands down, without saying, that goes without saying. But if you reached out to the family, I think the family has the say in it, because they're coming from all over, many different distances. And I would think it's terrible on, Tuesday to change it without giving them the platform to say it. That's
Well,
my own personal
we've been
opinion.
insulted saying it's all political. We're doing it, with
No, listen.
no
people-
transparency. Come on.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you gave the courtesy to Beverly. Beverly, I know, is the contact that was, whether she was made through June Dungy or Mr. Donatelli or whatever way that you got in touch with Beverly. Beverly is Reggie's blood. That is family. She was coordinating for people to come from a distance. I would feel it's wrong on our part to change it at this 11th hour if you told her that. And so
They selected the date and the time.
So therefore, I feel Beverly has the last say. We can say whatever we want. We're not the family. We want to honor Reggie without a doubt. He was a dear friend. a good man, a decent man, but I would not do anything just to say, we're going to do this, call them up and cancel it until you talk to Beverly.
Based
And
on the
then we have
comments made tonight,
emails.
I don't know what else I can say.
Well, there you go. I think the best thing is to reach out to Beverly.
Okay, go ahead.
Mrs. Walker, and I'll go to Mr.
Yes,
Rosencrantz.
I agree. If Beverly's Reggie's family, if she was told, I have an idea, maybe the family can have their thing on Friday when they can make it. Maybe we could have another day, a special day at night when we could make it where everybody could come. This way we know the family can come on Friday. Maybe we could do it 2 times.
Any other council comments? Mrs. Dungy, let's go around once before everybody
Okay.
else. Mrs. Sohar?
Agree with Mrs. Walker. I think, this is something that they were planning on the family, and if they're traveling distances, I don't know, they may by plane. So the thing is, have this on Friday, and then, as she said, let's see if we could have something else for the residents. I'm sure Madison Park, that whole area, everybody would want to come out. So we could advertise it and have that for the residents as well.
Mrs. Dungy, one more bite at the apple, and we're going to adjourn.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that I'm not being disagreeable and I'm not being political, Mr. Mayor. I'm just simply saying that there are a lot of people in the third ward that would like to have been a part of this celebration for Mr. Butler. I agree with Ms. Walker here. That sounds like a great idea, that if we want to do something later on where the people in the community can come, then that's fine with me.
Any other council comments? Mr. Rosencrantz?
Yeah, just a comment to what was you were attacked with earlier. Mr. Cahill is free to support any candidate that he wants, as anybody up here. Okay, he was.
This is the council comments portion. Thank you.
He was
Appreciate it.
attacked, and he put it out in the open, unlike maybe some other council people who supported different candidates. So I just want to say that anybody could support whoever they like, out in the open, behind people's backs, whatever.
Okay. Any other council comments before we adjourn? Mrs. Panos? We already went once. Mrs. Panos?
Okay, there was another statement made tonight to the resident who asked about the resolution to the state. Dr. Greenberg said that last time there was a resolution brought up about reduction of taxes. No, that wasn't the resolution brought up last time. The resolution that was brought up last time was that the MUA increased their rates. And if that's hooked up to the state, that's a whole process, as we just agreed on, that it just doesn't go to 3 legislators. It has to go through the committees. However, what was brought out is that the MUA has the right to do certain things. And one of their rights, or what they can do, is to actually increase the percentage. That doesn't need any state rule, okay? They currently give it 20%. Well, listen, if you're making $10,000 or under, there's 478 people in this town who get a 20% discount because their income is less than $10,000. You know what? They have it in their power to say, those poor 478 people, let's give them a 50% discount. I mean, I'm sure under $10,000 they could use that extra money. So that doesn't need to go anywhere, but right upstairs to the MUA commissioners, Anita Greenberg, Rich Green, John Murphy, Artie Carullo, Paul Carlock, Frank Weber, and Chairman Art Haney. They could do that anytime they want, okay? So they could increase the percentage rate, which would be a decent thing to do for people under $10,000. And you know what else they could do? They could actually charge seniors over age 65 for the water for the sewer they use. That's not going to break the bank. They did a wonderful presentation. They have a lot of good equipment. You know what? How about a senior over 65 pays for what they use? Wouldn't that be? They had the power to do that, and you could drink all the you could drink all the Kool-Aid they give you. But I'm telling you, you're barking up the wrong tree when you say, go to the state and do this, go to the state. You could do it right up at the MUA meeting. You could petition Anita Greenberg, Rich Green, John Murphy, Artie Carullo, Paul Carlock, Frank Weber, and Chairman Haney and say, please, we're 65. Could we just pay for what we use? Or, oh, I'm 65 and I only have $10,000 a year income because my husband died 20 years ago. And Do you think instead of giving me the $40 every 3 months, you could up that to $100? I mean, come on. All right, so let's not mislead the public. Let's tell them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Okay, you finished? All right, I'm just going to close out the council comments. I'm not going to even respond to the comments that were made tonight about me. I just want to wish everybody in the township a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody enjoys it. It's one of my favorite holidays, and everybody have a great Thanksgiving.
Happy
With that, I'll make a
Thanksgiving.
motion to adjourn.
Move it.
Second by Mrs. Panos. Roll call, please, in the adjournment.
Mrs. Dungey? Mrs. Dungey? Yes. Dr. Greenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Green? Yes. Panos?
What she say?
Rosencrantz? Mrs. Sohar? Mrs. Sohar? Yes. Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
President Cahill?
Yes.
8 yes.
We're adjourned.